Well, good Monday morning to you. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. I was walking back out to the truck and I thought, what a great time to show the truck with this pretty trailer and talk about what we're going to talk about today. Many of you have had questions about Swift that I might not have addressed, or you might have missed the video. One guy's asked a series of really good questions, and I thought we might make a video about it today. So I'm going to hop in the truck and answer those questions. While I'm doing that, you guys make sure to give me a thumbs up. Look down below the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Share this video on your social media platforms. And without further ado, I'm going to kick up the music and we'll jump right in. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Alrighty, we're back. First thing I want to do is thank all you guys. We're at 3,200 subscribers now, and I want to thank each and every one of you. I'm glad you're here. For those of you that haven't subscribed yet, I'm still glad you're here, and hopefully you'll do that sometime soon. Also, while you're there, you might as well give this video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Now, I'm going to try to answer some questions I've been getting a lot of. I find myself answering the same questions over and over. So hopefully some of you guys that has this question, this video will clear it up for you. The number one question I get, especially when people call me on the phone, is, all right, Todd, I know what you say in the videos, but is there something maybe that you're holding back that you haven't mentioned about Swift in the videos? And the answer to that is no. It really is as good over here as what I say it is. Usually, and sometimes it's repeat people, I get 2 or 3 calls a week of, Todd, I can't believe I'm working at Swift and I like it. It's just like you said, I was skeptical, I got here, the people care, the people are trying to help me. Now, I'm not going to say that in a company this size there's not a couple of bad apples, and you may run into a bad apple every once in a while, but the overwhelming majority of people here at Swift are really caring, good people that are trying to do the right thing. I haven't experienced any amounts of dishonesty or people trying to cheat me out of something I deserved or anything like that. So I'm still extremely happy, and that's the honest truth. Now, where have I been? You guys noticed I hadn't put out videos in a couple of weeks. That's another question I get a lot. Well, you guys know my wife had surgery. I was taking care of her for a couple of weeks. I've had some stuff going on, personal stuff that, you know, little stuff, nothing to be concerned about or worried about, but I've just been super busy. I think a lot of people don't realize that, you know, I work just like you guys do driving a truck. Well, when I work, I've had a lot of time off here lately. But so doing that, plus editing these videos, plus coming up with content, it's real time consuming. And I know I've let you guys down lately on the videos. I'm going to try to get those back up and more regular. They were Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I know some of you want me to come up with a TikTok. Some of you want me to do a live. And those things may be coming. I've just got to figure out how to squeeze it all into a day and how to make it interesting so that you guys will want to watch it. Now, let's talk about freight. Does Swift have freight? Has freight slowed down? The answer to both of those questions is yes. Swift does have freight, quite a bit of freight. I have not had trouble getting loads. I have had to work for them though. As you guys know, I talk to a lot of different trucking companies. I'm still in contact with some of the brokers that I used to work with. All of them are telling me freight has slowed down. Spot market rates are continuing to drop, and that's why I'm happy to be here at Swift, and that's why I think the sliding mileage pay scale right now is the way to go. Now, should that change, should rates skyrocket up again, then obviously I'll be advocating for a percentage-based pay scale. But right now, I'm really happy with things as they are. And so I'm not advocating for anything like that at this point. Also, a lot of you guys are asking me about Michelle. Is Michelle still busy? Is she still receiving a ton of applications? The answer to both of those questions is yes. Guys, especially on a Friday or a Monday, if you're trying to call her, you got to be patient. She might get back to you that day if she can, but it might go into the next day. If you go a couple of days and you don't hear out of anybody, send me an email with your name and phone number. It's down in the description below. All you do is click on the title. It'll drop down. You can read all kinds of cool things about the channel, how to help the channel, where I got the music that a lot of you are curious about, how I got it, how I'm able to play it on YouTube. All of that's down there. Go down there, check that stuff out. And but she will get back to you if by some chance you fall through the cracks, because it'll happen occasionally. Just email me your name and phone number and I'll get her to reach out to you like that. So some of you new guys have asked, would I train you? And the answer is no. I used to be a trainer, and it's not something I'm interested in doing again. As you guys know, I use a CPAP machine when I sleep, and I use the humidifier on it, and it'd be sloshing water. It could tear up my machine, things like that. Also, I don't sleep good when the truck's moving, and you know, I'm kind of a private guy. I know that sounds weird coming from a YouTuber, but I just like a little bit of privacy on the truck, and I don't know that I want to do the team thing again. I'm not ever going to say never, but I'm going to say it's highly unlikely that I would ever have an interest in training again. The last guy I trained, it was a super bad experience, and who knows, I may do a video about that at some point. But so that's my answer to that. What is the pay dates for Swift Transportation? All right, here's how it works. It's a little complicated. You guys follow me here. We're talking Phoenix time here too. So any trips that you turn in by 3 p.m. on Tuesday, Phoenix time, they guarantee to be on the Friday paycheck. Paydays are on Friday. You'll receive your direct deposit sometime between Friday and Monday, depending on your bank. If you scan after that, they don't guarantee it, but there's a good possibility it will be paid. For example, this past week I scanned one on Wednesday at about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I still got paid for it. So it's just not guaranteed. So on Tuesdays and Wednesdays here, you want to buy your fuel at a minimum, depending on what your trips are doing, so that you don't close out your week with a full tank of fuel that you're paying for and not benefiting from. Or at least that's one of my fueling strategies. But so Tuesday's the guaranteed deadline, but a lot of times they'll go ahead and pay Wednesday, and then you'll receive that pay either on Friday or sometime through Monday. I get mine on Friday. A lot of guys get it on Saturday. I just recently had to switch banks due to some fraud, and that bank I was getting it on Monday. So it's just your bank, but that's how that works. Now let's talk about home time. Trucker Todd, as an independent contractor, how often can I go home? The truth is, you can go home as much as you want to, and you can stay as long as you want to. But that truck payment and that insurance are due every week, whether you make $1 or not. So you got to plan your home time. You need to be smart about your home time. I've done a video about it before where I showed you the strategies about how to get the maximum home time with the least impact on your pay. But you've just got to plan for these things. I know one guy here that took 3 months off, but he called every week and he made his truck payment and insurance so that he didn't fall behind. And most of you, let's be honest, you don't have that kind of money in the bank to do that right now. You know, I tell you guys all the time that to come here, you really need to have at least $5,000 in the bank. And I mean that bare minimum. 10 to 15,000 would be a lot better. But at $5,000, at least you've got a little money in the bank if some surprises come up that aren't covered under warranty. And so keep that in mind. Guys that call me and say, hey, can I work 3 days a week and be off and make $3,000 a week? No. Can I work and have every weekend off? Probably not. Is there some places that if you live in the right area, you might get a dedicated run that gets you home every weekend for a 34-hour break? Yes. Is there some teaming opportunities where you might get that or every other weekend or something? Yes. But I'm speaking specifically to you over-the-road guys. You're going to find that you're more successful if you stay out 2 to 3 weeks at a time. Well, Trucker Todd, you go home all the time. Well, not to be sarcastic, but you're not me. I've got other streams of revenue that offset it, that make it possible for me to do some of those things. It's very possible you might run into some of those streams at some point if you have a YouTube channel or if you have some investments or something like that that are paying off for you. But that's another point I want to bring up while we're on here. I had a guy that roasted me the other day, one of the trolls, about he had watched some expert that said, you know, this percent needs to be this percent needs to be this. And I just don't follow that philosophy. I think you need to do what works for you and constantly be tweaking your numbers. The problem is most of you don't want to know your numbers. Most of you don't know how to calculate your numbers. So instead of learning how to do those things, you're basing your numbers off of what somebody else says. And I say that you learn your own numbers and then tweak them as you need to for your taxes, for your personal expenses, for your personal savings, things like that. And I've got roasted for that. That's okay. Hey, look, we're not going to agree on everything. I've done almost 400 videos, and most of them are 10 to 15 minutes long. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. We're not going to agree all those minutes on every single thing. But if you can learn 2 or 3 things from me and I can learn 2 or 3 things from you, then we're all going to be better off. All right, we got to keep this rolling because this video is going to be longer than I wanted it to be. Where does Swift run? Basically, all 48 states. You can go to Canada if you want to. I choose not to. They even have a Transmex division that goes to Mexico. Those guys run stuff down there and back up. But for the most part, most of you, the answer would be 48 states and Canada if you want to. Now, that does not mean they hire in all 48 states. So you'd want to check with the recruiter and see if you're in a hiring state. I can tell you AB5 has made at least 10 states almost impossible to do a lease purchase in. I am aware of the PRO Act that Biden is trying to get through that'll basically make it the law of the land for everybody. I don't think it's got a chance in the world of going through, and I think if it did, it would take some time to pass, and by then I'd have my truck paid off and I could make adjustments if I wanted to get my own authority or whatever. But getting my own authority is also, for those that have asked, that's not something I'm not interested in that either at this point. And the final thing I want to talk about is realistic expectations. You know, a lot of times you guys will call me and you'll say, how much can I make? And I say, I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know how hard you're going to work. You know, I mentioned earlier in this video that freight is slow right now. I'm still getting 2,800 to 3,200 miles a week when I work, but it's the nail that sticks up the highest. I'm not just calling one person and sitting on my hands and waiting. I'm calling multiple people. Hey, I'm going to be at this place in 2 hours. What have you got? Or, hey, I've been sitting here 30 minutes. I'd like to go this way. What have you got? You know, I'm involved, and that's what you've got to be. If you're a passive guy, you're not going to make it right now. This is a dog-eat-dog environment we're in, and you've got to work hard, and you've got to claw and scratch for every load you get, whether you're at Swift or some other company. Now, you need to do that with professionalism and respect. Calling these guys and threatening them and yelling at them and telling them you're going to quit is not the solution either. I've got a broker that I don't use him no more since I'm at Swift, but he likes to tease me because my legal name is the same as a baseball player, and he's a big baseball fan. So he teases me that I play baseball, and then in my spare time I drive a truck. And so, you know, it's good if you can build a rapport with people. And even here at Swift, they've got 3 planners that do the owner-operators basically, and then a lot of other ones underneath that help out. But if you can get to know them, build a relationship with them where they know you, you know, go in the terminal, shake their hand, get to know them. I'm not saying kiss up, but just get to know them. Then they can put a face with the name, and it does help. It, you know, if nothing else, they might look on their computer and say, hey, old Trucker Todd's going to be here today. Let me see if I can get something to help him out. I like him. He's a good old guy. That type of thing. So build those relationships. Same thing you'd do if you had a brick and mortar business. You'd build relationships with your vendors, with your customers, so that when an issue arises, you're somebody that they look to, somebody they contact, something like that. Anyway, we're way over 15 minutes. I'm going to wrap this video up. I went a little long because it's been so long since I did a video. If you guys got any more questions, leave me a comment below, shoot me an email, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. A few of you fell through the cracks, and I'm in the process of getting back to all of you now. If I missed somebody though, just shoot me another email or a comment below, and I'll get back to you just as quick as I can. You guys have a great Monday, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.